When the lights go down and the projector spins up, we enter into a quiet agreement with the screen. We trust that the movie unfolding in front of us is exactly what it was always meant to be, a polished, deliberate, finished product. But there is an archive of 97 video essays built by an anonymous YouTube creator under the name Golden Flicker, dedicated entirely to proving that trust wrong. In these videos, the creator zeroes in on a recurring obsession, what they call the golden flicker moment. It is the exact fraction of a second where the friction of the real world, the money, the physical danger, the corporate demands, breaks through the fiction on screen. This visual grid tracks the channel's entire library. Out of the 97 uploads, the creator meticulously researched and explicitly named the specific flicker moment chapter in exactly 33 of them. It is the signature feature of their most careful work. But if we sustain this view and rearrange into a bar chart tracking viewership, a stark contradiction emerges. The two most watched videos in the entire archive completely lack this highly researched signature chapter. The creator pours weeks into these signature chapters, tracking negatives buried under motorways and identifying uncredited soldiers in China, only to watch the videos without them climb the charts. In a game of Reach, this level of detail acts more like a weight than an engine. To understand why the creator keeps building these chapters anyway, we have to look at the moments they are trying to save. Sometimes the friction on set is entirely physical. During the production of James Cameron's underwater epic, The Abyss, the environment was genuinely perilous. In one scene, an actor's air supply cut off, and the sheer, unscripted terror of drowning was captured directly on camera. Other times, the reality that breaks through is emotional. In 1942, the cast of Casablanca filmed the famous La Marseillaise scene, singing the French anthem to drown out the voices of occupying officers. According to the story repeated for decades, the tears we see on screen in that moment are not a performance. Many of the extras were actual wartime refugees, weeping genuine grief for a home they had just fled. But here is where the historical record gets complicated. The physical terror on the set of The Abyss is a documented fact. The refugee tears in Casablanca, while powerful, are a much more fragile piece of Hollywood lore, proving how easily verified events soften into myth when history relies entirely on word of mouth. That reliance on myth often obscures the people who actually build cinematic illusions. The Golden Flicker archive calls this the hidden hand, the uncredited labor required to achieve grandeur. When Bernardo Bertolucci shot The Last Emperor, he secured exclusive access to film inside the actual Forbidden City in Beijing. To fill that massive space, the production used surviving imperial eunuchs as advisors and brought in 19,000 real soldiers to serve as extras. Their individual identities were entirely swallowed by the scale of the production, leaving only the spectacle behind. Occasionally, the individuals fight back against the machine. This brings us to a category the channel labels guerrilla, the struggle between a defiant artist and a studio demanding a softer, more marketable cut. When Universal executives tried to recut Brazil to give it a happy ending, director Terry Gilliam took out a furious full-page ad in the trade papers. He then smuggled bootleg prints directly to critics, forcing the studio to release his version after they voted it the best film of the year. Much like Gilliam smuggling his vision past a boardroom, this channel continues to package in-depth film history. For an audience, the algorithm would rather lead towards something louder. It is a quiet refusal to change the cut. But defying a studio only works if the physical film survives. The archive's darkest category deals with the total, deliberate erasure of an artist's original vision. In 1971, George Lucas shot THX 1138 in real San Francisco subway tunnels. It was a raw, analog warning about a mechanical, dystopian society erasing humanity. Decades later, Lucas used advanced digital tools to go back and paint over that analog original. The artist transformed into the exact erasing machine he had once warned his audience about. This digital overwrite was so total that the 1971 cut was actively kept out of circulation, replaced entirely by cold data. Contrast that modern digital erasure with the physical destruction of The Wicker Man. According to the legend that follows the film, The master celluloid negatives weren't digitally overwritten. They were reportedly dumped and buried like ordinary trash beneath a British motorway. Cinema is a medium defined by its own fragility. The real struggle happens long after the premiere, in the effort to keep the original frames from being buried, painted over, or forgotten. Meaning belongs entirely to whoever runs the next reel.